This morning, as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy touches down in Washington, President Trump says it's up to Zelenskyy to end the war, even though it was Russia that invaded Ukraine. President Trump writing on social media, President Zelenskyy of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, or he can continue to fight. The president ramping up the pressure on Ukraine after his summit with Russia ended with no peace deal and no ceasefire.
There were many points that we agreed on, most of them, I would say, a couple of big ones that we haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway. So there's no deal until there's a deal.
Zelenskyy expected to show up to the White House today, flanked by several European leaders, including the French president, the German chancellor, the British prime minister, and the Italian prime minister. A remarkable show of force just months after Zelensky's meeting with Trump ended.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
But Zelenskyy says it's Putin that is bluffing, warning he's using a summit with Trump as a photo op.
So it's necessary to cease fire and work quickly on a final deal. We'll talk about it in Washington. Putin does not want to stop the killing, but he must do it.
The president said he would walk out of the meeting if Putin wasn't serious about a peace deal and warned that he could face tougher sanctions.
I want to see a ceasefire rapidly. I don't know if it's going to be today, but I'm not going to be happy if it's not today.
But no agreement was reached, and so far Putin has not faced any consequences. The Russian leader was welcomed with a red carpet, a handshake, and fighter jets as he touched down on American soil for the first time in nearly a decade. We were there as both leaders arrived in Alaska. I asked them about the violence in Ukraine.
President Putin, will you stop killing civilians?
Trump and Putin riding together in the Beast, meeting behind closed doors for nearly 3 hours. Cameras invited in for just a minute. I asked if he would commit to peace.
Mr. Putin, will you agree to a ceasefire?
But neither Trump nor Putin took questions from reporters, only delivering brief remarks before ending the summit. Putin boarding his plane to head back to Russia, only to continue attacking Ukraine. And Zelenskyy has been adamant that there needs to be a ceasefire before any longer-term discussions on peace negotiations continue. But President Trump has abandoned that idea. He does appear to be coming around to one of Zelensky's demands, providing some sort of security guarantees for Ukraine. On the way to Alaska, I asked the president about if he'd be discussing territory swaps with the Russian leader. He told me that that would be on the table, but ultimately it would be up to Zelenskyy to decide what, if anything, he'd be willing to hand over to Russia.